Leo, welcome in. Let's begin your reading for today, May 15, 2026. Remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates deeply with your spirit and leave the rest behind without forcing it. Trust your intuition as you listen because the energy coming through for you today is extremely powerful and very direct. Leo, the first thing I need to say is that there is a massive turning point unfolding around your life right now. The energy feels like a complete 180-degree shift. Something that has kept you trapped in stress, disappointment, injustice, or emotional exhaustion is finally beginning to reverse itself in a dramatic way. The cards immediately show movement, destiny, and the breaking of deception. I see the energy of the Wheel of Fortune strongly surrounding you, and next to it appears the energy of lies, manipulation, betrayal, or someone deeply dishonest. This tells me very clearly that many of you have been dealing with someone unfair, someone who caused damage in your life emotionally, financially, or spiritually. But the important thing here is this: the energy is no longer supporting the lie. The energy is turning in your favor. I do not know if this situation involves legal matters, an institution, a workplace, money, or a conflict where you have been trying to prove your truth, but I see justice beginning to move toward you very quickly now. There is something marked in your destiny that cannot be blocked anymore. If you have been fighting for fairness, especially involving official matters, documents, money, legal systems, or institutions, I see resolution approaching. And not only resolution. Compensation. Restoration. Something returns to you corrected, multiplied, and improved. It feels almost like divine justice. Because what you experienced before was not small. The cards clearly show suffering connected to dishonest people, manipulative situations, or individuals who acted without conscience. You carried burdens that were unfair. You dealt with emotional anguish, disappointments, and situations that drained your energy deeply. And now life begins balancing the scales. I keep seeing abundance around this shift. Financial progress. Opportunities. Stability. Rewards arriving after a long season of hardship. No, money cannot erase everything you have lived through, but it can change your future, your comfort, your possibilities, and your emotional state moving forward. The universe is finally opening doors for you that should have opened long ago. And if this is not literal legal justice for some of you, then it is spiritual justice. The kind that arrives through destiny itself. Situations suddenly turning around. Blessings appearing unexpectedly. Life finally rewarding you after years of emotional battles and difficult experiences. This is not random luck. This is earned energy. The reading keeps emphasizing that something very large is coming toward you. Not something tiny or temporary. This feels like the universe itself deciding it is time for your reality to change direction. You are going to feel deeply grateful when this begins unfolding. I see you thanking God, thanking life, feeling emotional because something you thought would never improve finally starts moving in your favor. And Leo, this next part is very important. I see enormous healing entering your life. You are someone who has survived many painful chapters. The cards show strength, endurance, and emotional survival. There are experiences you went through that were extremely difficult, and yet somehow you kept moving forward. Even when exhausted. Even when hurt. You are a true warrior spirit. But carrying pain for too long changes the way a person sees life. The cards show sadness that slowly became part of your normal emotional state. Seeing the glass half empty instead of full. Expecting disappointment before happiness because life trained you to protect yourself that way. And I need you to hear this carefully: you were not born that way. No one enters the world expecting sadness. Life teaches people fear through experience. The more painful the experiences become, the more guarded the heart becomes too. But now the energy around you is beginning to restore color back into your world. The Star card appears very strongly here, and it speaks of emotional renewal, hope returning, healing entering your spirit, and your way of seeing life transforming again. It is like waking up emotionally after being stuck in survival mode for too long. You are about to feel lighter. Something positive arrives that changes your emotional atmosphere completely. It is not only about external success. It is about inner healing too. Your heart begins trusting life again little by little. The cards continue showing radical positive change. A complete emotional shift. A transformation in your reality and in the way you experience your daily life. And Leo, I have to say this exactly the way it comes through, the bad streak is ending. The cycle of constant stress, disappointment, and emotional heaviness is breaking apart suddenly. Now, another very strong message appears around relationships and emotional bonds. For many of you already in a relationship, the cards show deep mutual gratitude between you and your partner. I see appreciation, loyalty, affection, and emotional support. This is the kind of connection where both people quietly thank life for bringing the other person into their world. You may look at your partner and genuinely feel they are one of the greatest gifts life ever gave you. And the cards say your partner feels exactly the same way about you. This connection continues growing stronger. The love deepens. The emotional stability increases. There is mutual admiration here that feels beautiful and sincere. And for some of you, this energy may also connect to family, children, or loved ones you care for deeply. The cards show people around you who value you far more than you realize. Your children, your family, or those you support emotionally see you as irreplaceable. There is enormous appreciation surrounding you. If you are single, then the cards show someone entering your life who carries emotional maturity, kindness, and genuine affection. This person will become deeply important to you, and you will eventually look back feeling grateful that this connection entered your life exactly when it did. The energy of soulmate connection is very strong here. I also need to mention something else the cards are emphasizing. Without even realizing it, you are helping someone transform their life. There is someone watching your example, your work, your words, your behavior, or your way of handling situations, and it is inspiring them more than you know. You may not even realize the impact you are having. This person could be learning from you through social media, work, teaching, communication, or simply by observing the way you carry yourself. The cards show someone confused, stuck, or struggling to understand how to move forward in life. And somehow your example becomes the thing that helps them shift direction. For some of you, this could involve directly helping someone financially, emotionally, or professionally. Your advice or support becomes extremely important for this person's future. The tarot wants you to understand that what you do matters more than you think. Your influence is changing lives quietly. Another strong message appears around financial pressure finally lifting from your shoulders. There is a heavy burden connected to money that is about to end. Some of you may have been financially responsible for someone else for a long time. Others may have carried debt, obligations, stress, or emotional exhaustion connected to responsibility. But now I see liberation. Something shifts suddenly. A person who depended heavily on you begins becoming more independent. A financial situation improves. A debt finishes. A burden lifts. The Fool card appears here, and it represents freedom, relief, movement, and a fresh beginning after carrying something exhausting for far too long. And there is also the energy of a younger person around you finally maturing. Someone who previously acted irresponsibly, avoided commitment, or lived recklessly suddenly begins getting serious about life. They start becoming responsible, focused, and determined. And honestly, Leo, this change is going to make you incredibly happy because it removes a huge source of stress from your life. I can feel the relief very strongly. The reading returns again to financial victory and advancement. Especially if you have been dealing with dishonest people, institutions, contracts, or situations involving deception and money. The cards show positive outcomes arriving quickly now. And the emotional impact of this success is enormous because it represents more than money. It represents closure, healing, validation, justice. You have been through extremely painful chapters, Leo. That is why this turnaround feels so dramatic. The cards continue repeating the same message: radical change, radical healing, radical transformation. You are entering a completely different phase of life. I also see the energy of Archangel Gabriel strongly surrounding you today, bringing confidence, courage, and inner strength. The message here is powerful. There is nothing impossible for you right now. You are being encouraged to stop postponing important things. Stop delaying the project, the opportunity, the conversation, or the step you already know you need to take. The cards specifically point towards something you have been avoiding. A conversation. An interview. A meeting. An important discussion with someone significant in your life. And the message is very clear: do not be afraid of this conversation anymore. Something positive comes out of it. You may think the situation will go badly, but the energy actually shows resolution, understanding, and movement forward. The fear surrounding it is much bigger than the reality itself. So face it. Speak. Take the step. Because something extremely important begins shifting the moment you stop avoiding what needs to be confronted. Leo, this reading feels massive. Truly massive. Your life is entering a season where things begin changing quickly after a very long period of struggle. Emotional healing, financial progress, justice, love, support, recognition, and freedom from burdens all appear together here. The universe is finally moving in your favor. And you deserve to receive it.